When World War II broke out, although airborne operations were a new tactic, the elite German paratroopers maximized its potential and played a crucial role in a series of almost surgical strike operations. Of course, the British, who had experienced the early stages of the war, were also active in training paratroopers and developing suitable airborne equipment. At that time, the biggest problem for paratroopers was the lack of heavy equipment. For example, among the German paratroopers, the 37mm anti-tank gun was one of the few heavy weapons. As for mobile vehicles, they were completely unable to be airdropped. British designers decided to break through this technological barrier and design a vehicle that could be airdropped. The Hafner Rotabuggy was an experimental equipment designed to combine a conventional car with a rotor, making it a device that could be airdropped. Although it looks somewhat like a helicopter, its essence is more like an unpowered rotorcraft. Its operation principle is similar to that of a rotorcraft, generating lift through the rotation of the top rotor. However, this rotating force is not provided by the vehicle itself, but is generated by being towed by another aircraft, rotating and providing lift under the action of the wind. When towed over the target area, the tow rope is disconnected, and the flying car begins to freefall. At this point, although the aircraft loses forward power, the rotor will continue to rotate and provide a certain amount of lift under the action of inertia and wind. The driver controls the car to glide in the appropriate posture and then land in the target area. The main body of the Hafner Rotabuggy is a small jeep, with a body weight of about 914 kilograms. An air rudder is added on the basis of the body, and the rotor, consisting of two propellers, is installed on top of the cockpit, slightly inclined backward, similar to a rotorcraft. This additional flight equipment weighs about 249 kilograms. According to the design, the car adopts a two-person driving mode, with one being the car driver and the other being the flight driver. The operation of the flight driver is similar to that of an unpowered gliding device. In fact, he is sitting on a structure derived from the rotor axis into the body. Because there is no auxiliary power, he needs to use his weight to stabilize the rotor attitude. The rotor has a rotation diameter of 12.4 meters, and the body structure is strong enough to withstand a drop from a height of 7.7 feet, 2.35 meters, without damage even without the assistance of the rotor. The maximum flight speed of the flying car is 241 km per hour, and the minimum takeoff speed is 92 km per hour. The rotor speed is between 230 and 260 revolutions per minute, and it descends from the mother aircraft at a speed of 4.9 to 10 meters per second after detaching, depending on the actual situation and the control of the driver. The initial test took place in November 1943, simulating the takeoff posture of an aircraft being towed by a car. At first, the car speed was too slow to take off, but then a more powerful car was used to tow the flying car at a speed of 45 km per hour, verifying some of the technology. New testing work began in February 1944, this time using a bomber to tow the flight. The results of the experiment were not optimistic. First of all, it should be noted that the car plane did indeed take off under the tow of the bomber, but after exceeding a speed of 72 km per hour, the rotor shook violently and was difficult to control. The pilot sitting below was more thrilling than riding a roller coaster and was shaken and bruised. After being released, the car glided at a maximum speed of 105 km per hour for 10 minutes at a height of 120 meters, proving that the design was indeed feasible. However, the flying car project was soon abandoned because its technology was difficult to perfect in a short period of time, and even if it was perfected, it would not be of much use. Why use a cumbersome car that can only accommodate two drivers, and be towed by a transport plane to the battlefield? It has neither armor protection nor transport capability, and it is better to use gliders to transport light jeeps. Although there was no direct replacement for the flying car, the Allies still used a large number of gliders to complete transportation tasks, and even designed light tanks that heavy gliders could carry.